Well, Segura says if it's a clean comic, it's usually an indicator that there might be something
Right.
weird about.
It's so true. It's so true. I've worked with a few clean comics on the road where they're adamant it's got to be clean comedy, and something came up during that week where it was like, man, this guy is fucked up in the head. Like, seriously, he's got real problems.
Wow.
I'll give you an example. Like, there's a comic I worked with on the road, Christopher Titus.
Oh,
Yeah. And so he's somewhat famous.
Yeah.
People think he's edgy or what. Anyway, he was like, oh, I worked with him. I went up before him and he saw my show. He came up after me right after the show. And he's like giving me this long lecture on how I've got to do clean comedy. He's like, I can't believe that. He's like, you're not going to work the improvs, or you're not going to work the funny bones if you don't work clean. I'm like, dude, I've already worked the funny bones. What are you talking about? He's like, I don't work the improv because I don't like the improv. You know, the improv was the place where all the rich people went to laugh. You know, you go to an improv, you look at the goddamn parking lot, it's filled with BMWs and Mercedes Benz.
is there an improv?
Yeah, there's an
North?
improv here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I've never been a big fan of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
improv. I love the funny bones because
Where does he get off saying this?
well, I'll tell you the story. I don't want to get distracted, but he went off on me and was lecturing me about doing clean comedy. So I listened to him, you know, I said, all right, so he wants me to clean it up before his,
You're right.
you know,
You're right.
I
hope
told
that-
him, I said, dude, you had no problem following me, because most of the complaints when you have a headliner, I was featuring,
Yeah.
he was headlining.
Okay.
Most of the time they complain that they can't follow the dirty act, because if you're up there and you're real dirty, then the headliner goes up and he eats it on stage.
Sure.
And you can't get any laughs because
Sure.
you already went up there and you did all your dirty stuff. But I said to Titus, I said, dude, you have no problem following me. You went up after me and you got laughs, you know. And so the next night, I saw him in the back of the room and he had a little notepad out and he was taking down notes of my act. You know, he's like, I watched your act and I found all the places where you said a dirty word and we got to talk about it. And I'm like, dude, you know, fuck off. Basically, I told him, I said, I'm just going to do my show and you do your show and you shut the fuck up and leave me alone.
Could he
Follow me?
No, but
What?
could he do something about it?
Well, he did. He said, oh
shit.
dude, the guy is a towering douchebag. So it was one of those things where I was nice to him up until a certain point where this is the extent of what I did when I finally got a little bit pissed. Like when you listen to somebody tearing you down and just like, he was just kind of like berating me for hours. And I was being nice because he's the headliner.
Yeah.
I don't want to, you know, piss him off
Right.
or anything. And finally, I think it was something like when I finally got tired of it. I go, dude, you're being a dick. That's what I said. That was it. I go, dude, you're being a dick. And he fucking snapped. He ran
in front of other people?
Well, we were in the comedy condo, which is all the comics stay in the comedy condo. And I didn't snap on him. I didn't call him a cunt or I'm going to go to your mother's grave and piss on her grave. No, this is all I said to Christopher Titus. I said, dude, you're being a dick. He's like, you call me a dick? And he ran at me from down the hallway, grabbed me, pushed me up against the door, had his hand on my throat. You call me a dick? You call me a dick? You talk to me like that? You want to fight? You want to fight? Like he physically wanted to fight, right? And I hadn't been in a fight since like grade school. Like I don't fight. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, comics don't fight. We fight with words, you know, but those are fighting words. You know, he was ready to literally fight me, right?
He assaulted you.
Well, he almost punched me, but he didn't.
But I mean,
he had he had me pushed up against the door with his hand on my throat.
Assault or battery or something.
Dude, I don't call the cops.
I understand,
Oh, okay, yeah.
but he will do that to a person
by merely saying, "Dude,"
But make sure you tell clean jokes on stage.
Oh, right.
You're like some beacon of morality.
Right. That's where I lost all respect for him. But I mean, this was me just telling him, dude, you're kind of being a dick. And that's what made him snap.
What made it end?
Well, so I think he went back to his room and I went back to my room. And the next day on stage.
Was after a show that this happened?
Yeah, after a show. But then Friday night came up and I went on stage and I just did my act. Like I did all the jokes that I was there to do, which I was hired to do.
Yeah.
You know, because when I first showed up, he told me he wanted me to do a clean set. So I did a clean set, but I think I said fuck or shit once or twice, and that's when he like freaked out. And the second night wasn't clean enough for him either, because I said the word turd or something, or I said the word piss, and so after he tried to punch me, I'm like, fuck this guy. I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna do my act. Which is what I'm not going to make it any more dirty than I usually do. Right. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to
clean it up.
I'm not going to clean it up for him. I just did my act.
He couldn't have gone to the club as the headliner and been like, I don't want this guy.
Oh yeah, he could do that, but he hadn't done that yet.
Okay.
He was just talking to me about it.
So you go up night 3.
So Friday night I go up and do my act. He fucking snaps
in front of people.
Oh yeah, but he was in front of people, so he couldn't really beat me up because I was in the room at the time. You know, I was on stage doing my act, and my act is a little dirty, but it's not too dirty. Right. It gets laughs. I mean, if my act was too dirty, the audience wouldn't laugh.
No. But
I'm up there getting laughs, being dirty, and he's pacing back and forth, just fuming, right? And so, you know, he doesn't even look at me or talk to me. He goes on stage, does his act. Of course, he gets laughs too. And then after the show, this is where... after the show, he's like in with it with the MC. He's telling the MC, I can get you work. You know, Inman's a dick. He's crazy. He does dirty material. He's not going to help your career at all. And they jump in the car and they're supposed to give me a ride back to the condo because we're at the comedy club. We're all driving in the same car, and so they both don't say a word to me. They both get in the car, and I'm walking towards the car to get in the back seat, and that little fucking Christopher Titus, he's such a fucking cunt prick fucking douche. He goes over and locks the door.
Oh, wow.
And he just looks forward like he's not looking at me. Like, I don't know. We're not going to give you a ride back to the condo. And I was standing there, and he's in the passenger side, right? And I'm like, oh, really? I unzip my pants. I pull my cock out. I put it right on the fucking window, right next to his face. And he gets out of the car. He explodes, man. And he's like right in my face. He's ready to fight. He's like, come on, just punch me. Just hit me one time. I'll fucking kill you, motherfucker. Like, he's good. It's like a fight is going to start,
mentally
right?
deranged.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and the
That's
only...
so
this is...
I gotta get
Okay. Hilarious. No, it's not done yet. It's not done. So he's in my face, and I told him, I said, Christopher, you work Stanford & Sons, don't you? He's like, yeah. Do you know who owns Stanford & Sons? Craig Glazier. He's in the mafia. You put one finger on me, I'll make one phone call. He will kill you.
Wow.
He will put a bullet in your head. And fucking it, whatever that was, scared him enough, and he backed the fuck off because he knew Craig Glazier. I'm like, he's in the mafia.
Did he give you a ride after that?
No, but I mean, so
but
then
did you go back to the condo and stay there?
Well, yeah, because that's where I'm staying, right? So he goes to the club owner and he tells the club owner, I can't stay in the condo with Inman because he's crazy. He threatened to kill me. I'm like, dude, you threatened to punch me twice. The only way I could have got out of that fight was by threatening his life. That's what I did to get out of that fight.
Sure.
I was like, if you lay one finger on me, I will have you killed, which I'm making that up. Like, Craig Glazer's not in the mafia, and he's not going to kill anybody for me.
Wow.
But it was enough to get him to back the fuck off. You know,
I mean, you gotta do what you got to do.
Yeah, but because I'm a comic, you know,
I can
threaten anybody. I'm scary with my words.
Sure.
But I'm not going to fight anyone because I don't like to fight, right? You know? Anyway, so he goes to the club owner and he says some shit like, Inman's this and that. He's doing a dirty show and I can't stay with him in the condo. And so the club owner, he calls me into the office. He goes, so I got to put Christopher Titus in a hotel room because of you. And I'm going to take it out of your check. You're going to pay half. You're going to pay
Is he
half.
talking like a dick like that?
Oh, the fucking club owner did not take he didn't listen to my side of the story at all.
Okay.
Right. And plus, I don't narc on people. So I didn't, I don't really think I made a big, I didn't want to get Christopher Titus in trouble. So I might have said, dude, he threatened to punch me twice.
Right.
And that was not, whatever,
So did he really charge you half the hotel?
Yes, he charged. I had to pay for half of Christopher Titus's hotel room because Christopher Titus is a fucking unhinged freak and he tried to punch me twice.
Wow.
And the only way I got out of the fight was I threatened his life. So anyway, here's the funny part. So I go back on the road and Christopher Titus's name comes up every now and then. And I mentioned, he tried to punch me. I had 6 comics tell me on the road, dude, Christopher Titus tried to punch you. He tried to punch me too. This isn't like my problem.
Wow. Is he still touring? Or is he still working?
Yes, he's whatever. He's got so many problems. I mean, he had a sitcom for a while.
Yeah,
he's got some specials. But the thing of it is, I've worked with hundreds of comics. I've met thousands. I've only had one comic try to punch me. That was Christopher Titus, right?
What a loser.
As big of an asshole as I am, and I've only had one comic try to punch me, and that comic, I had 6 other comics tell me that he almost punched them too. He almost got in a physical fight with him because the fucking guy likes to fight. That's how he solves all of his fucking problems. If he doesn't win an argument, his argument was clean comedy. I told him, I said, dude, I don't do clean comedy. I like Sam Kinison. I like Bill Hicks. They just say what they want to say, and that's how they talk. And he's like, well, you're never going to get on TV if you don't do clean comedy. I go, dude, I don't watch TV. I don't like TV. Why do you think I'd want to be on TV? I don't even watch it. I listen to The Clash. I like movies. I watch I'll go to a movie. They say fucking movies. They don't say fuck on TV.
Right.
And so anyway,
did you guys have another night of shows to do after he goes to the hotel?
No. It basically, I never had to see him again. I had to do. I didn't change a fucking thing in my set.
Nice.
And every night I did my stuff. I said fuck shit. I have this bit. I used to have this bit about movie theater